So hey, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. And so how did we just meet right now? How did our paths cross right now?
Well, you came up to me and you asked if you can do an interview about reflexology, and then I was like more internal. I said I didn't think it would be a good time because my energy is more internal, and I wasn't sure that I could engage in a conversation.
Exactly. So it's about reflexology and what else? There was two other topics.
Mental health.
And what else? What was the other one?
I forgot.
Feet. So we're talking about feet, mental health, and reflexology. So first of all, in terms of mental health, right? Are there any topics that you like research, you study, you go over, anything like that?
No,
nothing really. Okay, cool. So maybe the information.
Maybe maternal mental health.
Maternal mental health.
Yes.
Okay, so maybe the information that I'll provide to you today could be helpful to you in some ways. Okay.
Yeah.
What about reflexology? You ever heard of it?
I just know that it's like you touch something and something comes back.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically, like I said, we'll get into that, but there's a lot of cool information about that I think you'd be interested in. Okay, so let's jump into the questions. First question, what's something that you like that other people might find to be weird? And I'm using the question weird. I'm using the term weird for a reason. It doesn't have to be weird to you, but it's just something that other people might look at and go, oh, it's kind of weird.
Speaking out loud.
Speaking out loud?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you mean, like, what do you mean by that?
By myself.
Okay, so talk to yourself while you're just speaking out loud? Okay,
yeah.
All right, cool. Has anyone ever made you feel weird about your body or a body part?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay.
Probably losing weight.
Okay.
Losing weight was like made me feel weird because people are noticing, or like aunties or people who are used to me, like, oh, you're losing a lot of weight, you know? And then I would start to be self-conscious about that.
Okay. So is this something that you're still dealing with on a daily basis, or do you kind of like have the control over it already?
No, I think I've grown past it.
Okay, cool. How did you get past it? Like, was it just blocking out the noise, or was it like what did you do?
I sat with myself,
and
it felt good. The weight felt good to me. So I'm just like, well, if this feels comfortable to me, like, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks because they're in their own body. I'm in my own body. Nobody can be in my body.
That's so good. I think sometimes we get caught up too much in what other people think instead of, like you said, just worrying about ourselves, right?
Yeah.
There was one thing you could change about yourself, right? And it doesn't have to be physical. What would it be?
Change about myself. There's nothing that I would change about myself right now because I'm really enjoying the present moment in my life. Like, I'm focused on just being rather than doing, or, I'm just focused on being who I am, and I've come to a place where I feel like I'm a gift and my life is a gift. So there's nothing I would change about myself.
I like that. That's good. I like that. Okay, so now how do you feel about your feet? What are your thoughts?
I love my feet.
Okay.
I don't mind feet. Like, people have always been like weary about feet. I don't mind feet.
Yeah, I mean, and this is, like I said, this is what I get different reactions. Some people tell me, like, yeah, no, I'm good. I don't even think about it or nothing like that. So, like I said, always different reactions. Like
I will say, if feet smells, then it's just like,
Yeah, I think that's, well, there's actually some people who are into that. Not me personally, but there are some people who like that. So, I don't know. But have you ever received any compliments on your feet?
Yeah.
Okay, men, women?
Both.
Okay, what's the feeling like? Is it a difference between when you get a compliment from a man and a woman?
Well, from a man, it would be more like of an intimate relationship that I have with them. So, like, I'll feel like more intimate about it. But my friends be like, oh, your feet's cute. That polish is cute on your toes. And it'll just be like a bypass, quick little conversation.
Okay, cool. How would you feel if a man gave you a compliment about your feet? Like, in passing, like, what's the feeling in terms of, like, the emotion?
It depends on where I'm at mentally.
Okay.
It depends on also his approach too. If he's just like, oh, that's nice, not like really like showing me that he's like violating my personal space.
Yeah, and that's what I hear from a lot of women. They're like, as long as the energy's right, right, that's what it all matters about. Okay. What are your thoughts on if you started dating someone who's into feet? Like, what would you?
It depends on how into.
Well, okay. So tell me. Let me know, like, what you think.
If
about
they're
that.
not obsessing over my feet, I think it'll be cool. Like, if they just want to give me foot rubs, they want to kiss my feet, that might be fine. But like, if they're just talking about feet all day, or it's just like an everyday thing, I wouldn't be into that.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of the women I interview say. Like, they want to be appreciated for the whole that they are, right? And if that's just a part of like something that you like, then that's cool. But not if you're just obsessing about that one thing, right?
Yeah.
All right. if you started dating someone, when do you think is the appropriate time for that person and for yourself to bring up things that you're into?
I think that before we even start dating.
Oh, like so you mean before you even go out, like you start talking and you're talking on the phone, you think that that's
the
when
time.
it should be discussed? Really? Why is that?
Because I like to feel people out first. Like, I think that energy is an investment, so like I want to see kind of what I'm getting into, and you never know until you experience it. So I like to get deep early on.
Yeah, and that's what I always hear too. Well, I've heard a couple women say that, and I heard one woman say she'd rather like be between the point when they start dating and they become official, which I do feel like it's kind of late. Like I feel like you want to know early so you can kind of, if they're not going to be into what you're into and you're not into what they're into, you can kind of find somebody else, right?
Yeah.
All right. So how often do you get pedicures?
Like every 2 weeks.
Okay. Do you ever have any favorite colors, or does it kind of just go based on how you're feeling?
Usually white.
Okay, so you love white. Cool. How often do you wear open-toed shoes, sandals, flip-flops, things like that?
Often.
Okay.
A few times a week.
Okay, cool. How often do you go barefoot?
Often, every week.
Okay. Do you believe in grounding? Have you ever?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Cool. You know that's a part of reflexology, right?
No.
Yeah, it's part of reflexology.
Tell me how.
So basically, people when they do grounding, they feel like the energy that they get back from the earth, like, goes through their feet, and they feel like it throughout their whole body. They feel at most at one with the earth. So that's why it is, because like I said, all those pressure points you have at the bottom of your feet, that's part of it. I'll go more in depth into the reflexology, that way you'll see where the connection is.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, so now can we see what your feet look like up close?
No.
Why not?
Because that's just too on the spot. I'm still feeling you out, still feeling the questions out, seeing where it's going to go.
Okay, so here's the thing. So I'm going to tell you about the mental health aspect, and then we'll roll back around and see how you feel, okay? So like I said, I started doing this because I was watching a guy's channel, and he was talking about something called DBT. Have you ever heard of that before?
No.
Okay, it's dialectical behavioral therapy. And basically, it's for people who suffer from anxiety, depression, things like that. It's people who like don't tend to live in the moment, like they overthink situations, like, and they tend to like are in the middle of it. And so what therapists try to teach these people is that when you're feeling uncomfortable in a certain situation, right? Let's say you have a fear of approaching strangers. They would tell you to go out and do it constantly, do it over and over again, right? Get used to that uncomfortable urge. And when you feel an uncomfortable urge, you do a self-assessment and ask yourself, what's the worst that's going to happen in that situation, right? And if you can't see something that's like life-threatening or that's going to threaten your safety, that you should proceed, because by proceeding, you could experience like a good event, pleasurable moment, things like that. What are your thoughts about that? How do you feel?
I think that's cool. I think that also it takes, like, say if a person has past trauma or whatever, like that kind of might not apply because there are other work that you have to do before you get to that point.
True. So like now when I get to these questions, if you notice how the questions were going, when I get to this point, it's to gauge your comfortability while we're in the middle of the interview. Like to see if you can still be comfortable during the interview. So is that something you can do, or are you kind of like, yeah?
I know how to set boundaries.
Okay. So can we see your feet, or is that something that you're not willing to do?
No, not right now.
Okay.
Still no.
Okay. So let's get to the reflexology portion, okay? So reflexology, like I said, is the study of the different pressure points that we have in our hands and feet. These pressure points like correlate back to other parts of our body. And so like I was telling you about the grounding, like when you have your feet planted to the earth, people feel that energy that goes through those different pressure points. So basically through like massage, acupuncture, things like that, you can alleviate like stress and tension in certain areas. So do you ever deal with like migraines or anything?
No.
Okay, what about like if you're working out, you ever deal with any type of pains in your body, things like that?
No.
Okay. Well, there's different areas of your feet. So like, let's say you're having trouble sleeping. There's a portion of your foot, and they're called zones. Okay. So basically, if you were to massage in that area, okay, using like oils or something like that, you can alleviate stress and promote good sleep, things like that. What are your thoughts about that? How do you feel?
I think that's cool.
Okay. Cool. Would it be something like if you were out and there was like a reflexology specialist, would you ever go and like maybe look into that, try it or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I needed it, yeah.
Cool. Okay, so wrapping up the interview, right? So in terms of my approach to you, like coming up, was it good? Was it bad? Is there something I can work on?
No, your approach was good.
Okay.
I got a little, like, I don't know what this person is going into with the interview, because you talked about mental health, reflexology, and the feet. And then our first few questions was just like, do you like your feet? And, you know.
Well, no, the first questions were, I was asking you about First of all, like, what's something that you like that other people might find weird, right? So that's the mental health aspect, because I'm trying to see, like, you may have something that you like, right? Other people may find it weird. Some people like are cool with feet, but other people find it weird, right? So that's what it's all tied to do, right? And so all my questions were about that things first. Then I got into the feet to see, like, could you still be comfortable while we were going through all those questions? You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's all about, I'm going from step to step to see, like, how comfortable you can remain in the interview.
Oh,
Okay, good?
Yeah.
So in terms of the interview from start to finish, like, did everything make sense? Did you see the correlation? Did you learn anything new?
Yeah, I learned a few new points. I think I went into it with expectations. I thought we would talk about mental health more, or like more clearly, not indirectly. Yeah.
Well, like I said, so the information I provide from the DPT aspect, like, that's why when I ask you, like, what are your thoughts about it, like, I'm looking for you to, like, engage with me and tell me, like, further what you might think. If you have something that you feel like is better or something like that, that's what I look for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, like, every time I'm asking these questions, like, I usually get, some people are more thorough with what they want to say. Some people are kind of more like, yeah, I like it or I don't like it. So I just go based on what I feel from you.
Okay.
Yeah. So what did you feel like you learned new?
You talked about pressure points, different pressure points.
The reflexology.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And so the last thing I ask everybody in terms of a mental health aspect, right? Maybe something that you learned that's a life lesson that you've learned in the past, something you could share with my channel. And it could be anything. Don't overthink it. Like, it could be a simple lesson that you just learned.
Just be.
Okay, so just be. So
just be. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I like that. It's very simple, but those are like strong words. Okay. So hey, I appreciate you like taking the time to do the interview, and we hope that you have a great rest of your day. Okay.
Thank you.
All right.